So I've got a build today based around Collective Obligation, the exotic pulse rifle that you get from the Vow of the Disciple raid. Really nice gun. I've used it again. It's one of these that I go back to every single season and have a good couple of weeks play with it because I absolutely love it. And it's recently in the TWAB, it's actually getting a buff for next season, which I'll talk about a bit more in the video. So Collective Obligation, what it does is the weapon leeches void debuffs when damaging targets. So what you can do with this gun is you can apply all these effects here: suppressed, weakened and volatile. And then once you've sort of leeched it, you just hold your reload button and it's going to apply all of these free debuffs. So the name of the game, or the name of this build, is to get this going as much as possible, having the suppression part, the weakening and the volatile. Every single one of these buffs are extremely useful for your team or yourself, especially the suppression and the weakened part of it. You can literally control spawns with it, which I'll show you a bit more, a few more clips as we go. What I've done is I've based it around armamentarium so I can get 2 grenades. I'm running the suppression grenade, so I can get double suppressor grenades. I'm running controlled demolition. Hitting a target with a void ability or volatile explosion makes them volatile. Further damage to a volatile target causes them to explode. And it also grants you any nearby allies health when volatile targets explode. And I'm also running Bastion. What that does, it gives you a nice tasty overshield when you put your sort of barricade down or casting your super, and it slowly regenerates. And then obviously I said suppression grenade. The 3 fragments that I'm basing it around is Echo of Instability. Defeating targets with grenade grants volatile rounds, because what I'm trying to do is get everything going. So the volatile rounds is ticked on there with that fragment. And I'm also running Echo of Undermining. Your void grenades weaken targets. So if we'll go back to that, so we've got the suppress and the weakened off 1 grenade, you suppress a grenade. And then also, if we go back to the controlled demolition and this one here, Echo of Instability, sorry, we're going to get all 3 off 1 grenade. So we made it quite easy to sort of get the debuffs going. And then the other sort of fragment that I'm running is Echo of Domineering, because whenever I'm suppressing something, it's giving me instant reload, and it also gives me increased mobility for a bit. So Instability, Undermining, Domineering, Demolition and Bastion with suppressor grenade. And then obviously I've got armamentarium, like I said, to get the double suppressor grenade, so we can get this sort of leeched all the time. I'll show you some clips now and break the gun down how it works. So I'm just going to show you the sights on the gun, because them 3 purple dots that you can see, that represents the leeching effects of the gun. The very top one is suppression, the middle one is weakening, and the bottom one is volatile. And you can see the one that's right at the bottom, that means it isn't charged yet, and that'll also glow purple when it's fully charged. So this is how I've been using it for the few seasons. You're going to see I'm just going to stick in with that suppression grenade, that's ticking the suppression part. I've also got volatile rounds going on the gun, which is also ticking that. And then obviously the weakening effect from the fragments and aspects that I'm running. You can pretty much get your leech going all the time with controlled demolition and Echo of Undermining. And this is the sort of thing you can do with it: literally control spawns, suppressing everything, weakening everything, applying volatile rounds to everything. Really fun to use, and it's extremely useful for end game stuff as well. You can literally just stop things in the tracks. They're stood there, they're dizzy, they're suppressed, they've got volatile, they're all glowing purple. Absolutely fantastic. I really enjoy it. And recently Bungie have announced that they are going to sort of give this gun a sort of a rework, but it's not really a rework, they've just really enhanced the perks on it, which I'll show you some more about in a moment. But for end game stuff, it's really good. I'm just leeching, that's what you'll see me doing quite a lot, applying the suppression grenade, leeching, and then just getting ready. So this is what Bungie are doing. I'll link the TWAB in the description. They're basically giving it some really good sort of abilities now, what you can do with it. They've added like 20% damage bonus against PvE combatants while leech is active, and you also, on there was stuff like you can instantly charge your leech. I'm going to leave the full link for that as well, but it's getting a really big buff. So this is, again, I'm just applied the leech there. Everything, suppression, volatile, everything there is just dead, stopped in its tracks. weakened, dizzy, suppressed, everything. Really good. Controlling spawns. I've used it in pretty much every GM this season. This is Solar Burn. When there's something like Void Burn on it, it's even better. All these are just stood there now, ready for my teammates to sort of take advantage of that. They're all debuffed, 15% debuff, and like I said, they've all got the Volatile, which is all working nicely with my Titan setup, the Void. A couple of guns that work really well with it is bait and switch. Linears or something like that if you've got bait and switch weapon, because you can really take advantage of the collective obligation with that as well. What you'll see there, I'm applying a debuff to him, hitting him with my primary, getting the bait and switch going. So not only are you getting your bait and switch going, you're getting an extra 15% damage on top of that as well. Really strong. Again, I've just got a clip of this bait and switch working. These are just little ideas what you can use with it if you wish. There might be some other cheeky little combos you can run, but I found bait and switch to be really nice with it, like applying that extra 15% debuff to go on top of your 35% damage buff from bait and switch. Lasting impression is another one, pretty much the same sort of thing. Apply the debuff, sticking with that lasting impression. I've also got running a Titan as well with the Titan bubble for the extra 25% damage as well. It all stacks. I've got some more sort of clips to show you now of the build, how it's working, because I've got loads of elemental wells going on there as well to get extra damage, like Fontamite. Got Reaping Well Maker on there. Stay tuned, I'm going to show you the rest of the build on how we can really take advantage of the damage buffs that we can get from the Void Elemental Wells. Right, so this is the final piece of the jigsaw, the last little bits and bobs that I've put together. I've based it on getting loads of Void Elemental Wells to get our Fontamite going and get our recharge rates going, so creating loads of Void Elemental Wells. I do hope the clips that I showed you with Collective Obligation showcased how to get the best out of it. I do believe this build does get the best out of Collective Obligation, and it will only get better next season when them buffs come in for it. Armamentarium, what it does, it gives you 2 grenade charges. Obviously I'm running suppressor grenades, quite useful in any situation. Fontamite, I run that one. What that does is picking up a Void Elemental Well, gives me a 25% weapon damage boost to my Void weapons because I'm on a Void subclass, so a nice 25% weapon damage boost on top of the leeching effect is quite useful. What I like to run is Elemental Ordnance, because I'm running 2 suppressor grenades. You can create a Void Elemental Well all the time with Ordnance. Every time you get a kill, that's going to spawn an Elemental Well with your grenade. Void Siphon, I'm running Collective Obligation. Obviously it's a Void weapon, so that's going to create me plenty of orbs of power for me and my teammates. I run this one, Elemental Time Dilation, because I like to run this one on a few of my builds, because what it does is it extends the timer of Fontamite by about 3 seconds, so you get 13 seconds, 13 seconds of Fontamite rather than 10. Grenade Kickstart, I run this one. Now I've seen a lot of people sort of commenting on videos in the past where I've run exotics like Armamentarium or Claws of Akamankara on the Warlock, where you get 2 charges for things, and it does work, but it just works on the last charge. It doesn't work on the first charge, it works on the second charge, so it still works. And again, it's just one of them, you can throw that on if you want. If you don't want to, you don't need to, you can run something else over that. It's entirely up to you. I like to run it. The other one that I like to run is Reaping Well Maker. Whenever I throw my class ability down on Barricade, any weapon kill, it doesn't have to be Void, any weapon kill spawns me a Void Elemental Well. So as soon as you've put your class ability down your Barricade, straight after you're going to spawn one with any kill. And then the last one I run is Bountiful Wells, because what that does is it doubles up your wells that you create. So whenever you create one, when you put this mod on, it's going to create you 2. And then I buff the grenade out with Bomber times 2. I run double Bomber. This gives you about 25 to 30% of your grenade back every time you put your class ability down. So all round it's a good build. Even if you take away Collective Obligation, try it with another Void weapon if you don't have it, or you really don't like running it. I love it, but you can run this build on any Void weapon and it'll work nicely. So I hope the build's been good. Have a great day.